Hi, everybody. Welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, July the 10th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
One of these days, I want to hear that whole song. You got to send me the whole song.
I'll sing you the whole song.
I need the whole song.
It is a good song.
Yes.
It's a very good song.
It's Log, right? Log.
It is Log. Log is a band out in Denver, and it's fronted by their bass player by the name of Harry Lugnuts, who just happens to be one of my co-hosts on the Get On With It Sports podcast on Wednesday nights.
That's correct. Yeah. So bass players are a different breed.
Oh, they are.
If there's someone in a band and they're wearing a Hawaiian shirt, they're probably the bass player.
They're bass player.
Oh,
and
wait a second.
Yes, Dave was a bass player, and I have been known to play a 4-string guitar as well from time to time. So.
That's only because he broke the other 2 strings.
I did. That's true.
He just can't remember how to restring the damn thing.
Anyway.
We've got some business to start off with.
We do. We have a few things we have to.
It is National Beer Haters Day, and we're not talking about the governor, right?
No, we are not.
Remind us that could be misconstrued that way. No, we're talking that way. We are talking about a mutual friend, who time again tells us he hates beer.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does he drink? He drinks those keep your waist slim things.
He drinks those
seltzers.
Seltzers.
Yes.
He drinks seltzers. Yes.
Seltzers. So this is named in his honor. This because it's his birthday today.
It is.
Joe Granite and John. You pulled up a picture of Joe.
I do have a picture of Joe right here. Yeah.
Joe needs a shave.
Joe does need a shave.
Oh, no. That's the capybara picture, Sean, because
that is
it's a capybara appreciation.
That's capybara appreciation.
So we had the picture for that. Wouldn't be the first time we had a mishap with a picture pop.
That wouldn't be. Let's let's see what Joe actually looks like here. Hold on. It's not popping up right now. Hold on a second. I gotta here it is right here. Now this is really his picture. That's fine. Any day. At some point,
it's coming.
It's coming.
Don't do that. Don't do the joke. No, it's just overdone.
It is.
And if you do it too long, don't we have to pay royalties or something?
Oh, we do. All right. So here's the picture, Joe, right here. Sorry about that. There we go. Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday!
It is Joe's birthday. Happy birthday, beer hater. We made a national day for you, Joe.
Yeah.
And what is that he's pouring there?
Well, it's in the Chamonix Creek beer.
That's why I took this picture. So he's actually and this is actually this afternoon. It's cold where he is. No, I'm kidding. No, this is
yeah.
Anyway,
it's less than 30 miles from me, and it's sweltering out there.
I know. So happy birthday, Joe Granat. This is it's a big one for him. He's 21.
Again,
yeah.
Nice
for the 19th time. So there you go. Anyway, we got a comment. Hold on. Tyler Smur, cheers from Texas. Cheers, Tyler.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in.
You put your title thing back. It's hot out.
Yeah, I was starting to type it before I went on, so that's what you saw. So you put not it. So now,
yeah, you ruined my thing.
I ruined your thing. Yeah, it's hot out. I need give me a crispy beer and a Brass, of course.
I'm gonna go back to what I originally had.
What did you originally have? See, folks, I had it just said it. Well, what day is it? Oh, that's true. It is Monday. This is a special Monday show because I have something to do tomorrow night. So we didn't want to miss another week. Okay.
Yeah, because we were off last week.
What
did you do with your time off?
You know what? I didn't do a whole lot. I mean, it was 4th of July, right? We barbecued. We actually went to a barbecue is what we did. So
did you barbecue a capybara?
I barbecued a capybara right there. This one, as a matter of fact, this was a picture before I marinated it, and so
that's the look on his face is. What
are you doing with that basting brush? That's what that is. So, anyway, so I did that. Had an interesting time last Saturday or a couple days ago at Cypress Brewing up in Edison. Was their 8th anniversary. So Matt and I went up.
To Tom and the guys, Tom and Jay and Mike,
and Charlie.
That's Charlie J.
Charlie J. And right. Bob. So this is I'm not going to put it on the thing, but this was us the other day. I'll just hold it from the phone. There you go. There you go. That was there we go. So
that'd be Charlie in the middle.
There's a lot of never mind. It's a very big picture. Let's put it that way. I was trying to be nice. Anyway,
there's a lot of girth going on.
A lot of girth going on. It's pretty much at that point. So anyway,
we got 3 beer drinkers.
Yeah, this is true. So that was fun. And then Friday night, I did an impromptu cocktail podcast with Tom. He's back to having a couple cocktails after his knee surgery. So
he's allowed to drink again.
He's allowed to drink again.
Off the pain meds,
and that's a good thing because 2 weeks from tomorrow night, he and Mr. Taradomsky are on this show for a special. We won't give it away. We'll give it away. Christmas in July show.
Why not?
Christmas in July show. We're going to be doing a.
We're just like, is he going to say it?
I just said it.
Yeah, it's really going to be 3 guys sitting around crying that they're not going to make Anchor holiday beer anymore. That's all we're going to do. We're going to do that for about 2 hours.
4 guys.
4 guys.
4 guys. Unless you're not going to be crying about it.
That's right. There's 4 of us, man. See, no mathing on the show. We don't math on the show.
I was told there would be no math.
No math.
So, anyway. All right. So what did you do?
Well, the prior weekend I was at a show at Bolero Snort.
You were. What show was that?
It was the Zane Lamprey comedy tour.
I think we have an image. I think we have a.
Yeah. So if you don't know Zane Lamprey, he had a TV show called. There he is, right there. Mm-hmm. 3 sheets.
Who's that stalker behind?
The stalker behind him. Wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Wearing another Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, a different Hawaiian shirt. Had a TV show called 3 Sheets, was all about drinking, and then one called Drinking Made Easy. Guess what that one was about?
It was about 3 Sheets.
It was about drinking and abusing his best friend. He abused his best friend a lot, and I asked him about that after the show. I'm like, "Do you guys just playing characters? You're really just that mean to him?"
Right.
He's like, "No, I'm really just that mean to him." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But anyway, so we did that, and then this Saturday, while you were at Cypress. Thanks for the invite. We ran up to Brick City.
Oh, you went up to Brick City, and you went up to
went up to Gearblock Brewing.
You went up to Gearblock, did you? How is Gearblock?
I did. Gearblock is fucking tasty.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring somebody on that can tell us a little bit more.
I know we've been trying to get Tony on the show.
Uh-huh.
And did you get him today?
I got him today. Here he is. Let's bring him on right now.
Bring him on.
Please welcome to the show, Tony Romano from Gearblock Brewing. Hey, Tony, how's it going?
How you doing, everyone?
And everybody who's been to the brewery probably don't recognize him because he's not wearing this.
He's not wearing a hat.
Yeah, he always see me with a hat on and the black shirt. Today, I'm just kind of.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
And you don't have the bling.
No bling, no gear.
He doesn't wear that at the brewery. He wears that to the events.
Only events. And you guys have been trying to get me on, and obviously,
busy life.
Well, good things come to those who wait, right? Yeah. Patience is a virtue.
Yep.
I can go on and on with those, but as far as the cap thing goes, I resemble that remark. I'm always wearing a cap, and to the point where actually there was a time where I actually walked into somewhere where I'm always wearing a cap and walk up to somebody and said hi, and they looked at me and they said, "Can I help you?" Like they had no idea who I was.
Oh, because you weren't wearing
specifically because I wasn't wearing a hat. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" And she goes, "Holy shit!" But it's pretty funny. Anyway,
so I was hoping he'd wear the hat because I was going to give him a hard time because John wears the hat like this way, so you can read the logo.
Yeah,
Tony's is always pointed
always
that direction.
Up. There you go.
You can't read the logo on it.
It's literally just sitting up here.
Yeah, just right in the back of the head.
Hence the bald spot right here where it sits on.
You're getting the line.
It's getting that right.
Man, I've heard of awkward tan lines, but awkward hat lines.
Horrible.
Awkward tan lines. It's a good beer name.
Yeah, it's a great name for a beer. Oh, I think I see a can of it back.
It's a can of it right behind me.
Anyway. So you got to do that. See, they Coastal Brewer sponsors us, so you got to plug the product.
Funny thing is, I never do. Dave does. I just...
Well, he writes the check. So I've got to do some plugging.
So you do some plugging. There you go.
So we were up there, and you guys have just some great traffic through there.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean,
every time I've been there.
It's it's definitely we've been doing really well, and on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, it's kind of our 2 days where we kind of do what we do. We're only open 4 days a week, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So believe it or not, Friday nights later in the evening, and then Saturday and Sunday are usually our best times.
Nice.
Good.
So,
right, so I gotta get up there. Anytime I'm
actually
in
New
Bergen
York
County,
when you get up that way. So
no, I grew up in
forgotten.
Bergen County, South Bergen County, and I lived in Fairlawn for 12 years, so not too far away. But anytime I'm up, I'm in Monmouth County now. I'm down the shore, right? But anytime I get up to Bergen County for anything I got to do up there, it's a Monday or a Tuesday, maybe a Wednesday. You're never open,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So I gotta get up there. I gotta plan something up. But.
And it's not. Don't be mistaken, because everyone's like Warwick, New York. No, I'm like, no, Waldwick, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Small little town. Great place, great people. Really, really
Waldwick's
Waldwick's
a great town. It is, it really is.
The history went through there as well. A lot of history in the area, the Revolutionary War history in the area. And you've got you're in a strip mall. There's like 3 restaurants in the strip mall.
Yeah, so we have sushi next door. We have a bagel place right next door to that, and then right around the corner, it's kind of like the mall's kind of like an L. At the end is a pizza place. So yeah, that's great. And then across the street we have another sushi place and like a salad and smoothie place. So
you're not at a loss for food right nearby. So.
No, and we are right between 2 great pizza places that I'm sure of people have heard of, Nelly's and Kinchley's.
Sure.
We started at Kinchley's actually.
Oh yeah.
And I told Carrie, I'm like, okay, this is very good and probably even better than, but I do have to take you to Star Tavern.
Right.
That comment right there will start a war.
It's Kinchley's Pizza and Star Tavern Pizza are 2 different pizzas. They really are.
Yeah, they are. Star Tavern's, I think the only reason I like Kinchley's better is it's not as Star Tavern is really kind of salty. They rely on salt for a lot of their flavor.
That's what we like at the brewery, salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
remember, you got to go to exactly. A lot of salt. Enjoy the salt. Keep eating.
That's why pretzels are always free at a brewery.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But like the Kinchley's Pizza, I used to order years ago. I don't know if they still do it. I haven't had it in a bit, but I used to order the broccoli and fresh garlic, and it's literally covered in garlic and broccoli. Like you can't see the pizza through the garlic and broccoli.
No, we just got
and make sure you don't have a meeting the next 2 days after that.
All that garlic. No, we got the plain Fra Diavolo.
Right, that's a good one too.
Yeah, that was so.
Yeah,
good.
that's definitely one that they always people always get.
Tony, we were talking about that beer before the show. Now you've tasted it.
Yeah.
So
this.
Yeah, what are we drinking? Let's start that out because
Let's see if I can get it clear. So this is a beer that Dorian at Whims Brewing brewed about 2 years ago.
Gremlin Revelry.
Nice.
Excuse me.
Gremlin Revelry.
Yep, Gremlin Revelry. It was a homebrew. We had a small homebrew competition. There's about 18 of us that still keep communication amongst each other, and we started this little homebrew club. It actually started at a source competition, right during COVID. There was a source competition that Al, he sponsored at Source, and it was luck of the draw competition. So it was a bunch of people from the state that just submitted an entry, and they picked names out of a hat. And I think it started with 24 homebrewers, and then it was just a Sweet 16 bracket, pretty much. And the last 16, the Sweet 16 group, kind of stuck together, and we created our own little homebrew club. And we every quarter we would brew a specific beer. We would actually, get the beer all in one location, and then we would actually deliver it all. We would deliver some to the south, some to central New Jersey, and then some to northern New Jersey. And then everyone would go and pick up their beers. They would drink them, judge them, and then we actually had guest judges and accredited judges judge the beer. And then we got.
And thank you, Central Jersey exists.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
It does exist.
It does exist.
It does exist.
They still do it to this day. I'm not a part of it. I'm still part of the group, but I don't. It's me,
Because you're no
myself.
longer a home.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
right.
time.
Right.
So believe it or not, it's Oak Flowers in the group, Autodidact, Whims, and the last one is I'm sure you've heard of Shoreside Brewing is a home brewer, Orzo Ales,
Sure.
Experimental. So all those guys, we're all friends, and we kind of stuck together to this point, and we kind of help each other out and bring each other up. It's kind of the new age of breweries that are kind of birthing in the state. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Love it.
So how is the beer? Because
it's great. I'll tell you, it's a barrel aged sour in Pinot Noir grapes. So I don't know if he barrel aged it. I don't know if he put like Pinot Noir must in it. But it's actually really amazing. It tastes just like a sour. No, no, it's the clarity is great.
Oh, wow.
That's nice.
And it is sour. I thought it was a little bit. I think it's actually not as sour as it was.
Interesting.
But it's really, really good. Crystal clear. It's like champagne.
Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice. What are you drinking, Samurai?
Well, when I went up to Gearblock was to prepare for the show,
Mm-hmm.
get a few things to drink on the show, get the appropriate glassware.
Of course.
You got to do that. They've got a really cool glass. It's this logo, but it's very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a can glass, and I haven't learned how to drink out of a can glass yet. Oh, there's a Teku. There you go.
Yeah. So, but what we did is we deconstructed. I can't get a good glimpse of that.
You got to put it right in front of your face because you have the.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So we here you go.
That's
we deconstructed all the elements out of that image, and we kind of use it throughout our beer cans now, and our 16-ounce cans, and some of our product, our merch. So,
well, more about this logo. Well, let me continue. We're doing the "What are we drinking" segment, but then we'll get back to this logo. So this is K-Turn.
Okay.
This is their Kolsch. And I'll tell you one thing: if you like Kolsch's, get the Gearblock, because as much as I love K-Turn, the Kolsch Father is. I love the Kolsch Father even more. The Kolsch Father was fantastic. Nice. Tony brought that to Brewsology. And it's funny because John and I, in our top threes, we did this segment, top 3 beers we ever had at a festival or something like that, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I brought up the Kolsch Father.
You did.
Which is really, I said, it's really surprising because how often do you go to a beer festival and the beer that stands out is a freaking Kolsch? Mm-hmm. That's not a Kolsch's job. A Kolsch's job is to not stand out.
Just...
But it was perfect.
Yeah, so we got to get back to it. We started brewing K-Turn, and then we kind of turned our back on Kolsch Father. But we
made a K-Turn.
Yeah, we made a K-Turn. All right. We got U-turn, we got K-Turn, we got right turn, left turn.
There you go.
Different turns.
You got Bang a Yui yet?
Bang a Yui.
You got to do Bang a Yui. That's such a Jersey thing. Man. Bang a Yui.
For my first beer here, I'm having, since I didn't have any, I wasn't able to get up there. I don't have any Gearblock to drink. Dave was in Bergen County. He also mentioned that he visited Brick City. So I figured, okay, let me have a couple New Jersey beers that aren't even coastal. I'm having a Brick City mild in the morning. So it's their English mild.
Very nice.
4%. I think it's actually a little less than that. Actually, it's 3. Yeah, it's 4%. It says. Yeah, it's pretty tasty, right there.
Don't see that often.
You don't see them that often.
No, it's weird. A lot of the classic styles are obviously they've been making a comeback, but we try to mix it up.
We love it.
You got it. I love every minute of it. I'll be really quick. I'll just tell you the story. Some people have heard it already on the show. I went out to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, about a year and change ago. We stopped at Our Town Brewing. In fact, we had them on the show last year, and they were brewing. They had looking at the menu. They had like 24 different beers on, and they had a dark English mild on. So I look in them, 3.8% dark English mild. I have one of those. So beer tender pours it for me. We're sitting there, just two of us, we're BSing. And he goes, what can I get you next? I said, I'll have another dark English mild. He said, really? I says, yeah, was that good? All right, boom, pour it. Talking a little bit more. Anyway, I just kept drinking them. Third time, yeah, I'll have another one. He says, you want to try anything else? I said, I'd love to try anything else, but this is fantastic. So he wanted to give me a couple of tastes of some other stuff, but the mild was great. The mild is one of my favorite styles too. So anyway, all right.
I want to get back to the. I want to
get back to the logo, and then I'll go on with the other stuff.
The thing with the logo is when I was a kid, my brother and I used to get this magazine called Cartoons.
I was waiting for something else,
right? And that's well, no, yeah, we get National Geographic, we read Pygmies. Remember that on Happy Days?
Yeah.
But this cartoon reminds me of those cartoons,
yep.
and also hot rod cartoons.
You know what? You're right. You're right. It does.
Right?
Absolutely does.
Yep.
I
can't remember the artist who did this kind of work, but it's very similar to those.
So, obviously, that an inspiration for us was Rat Fink, right? That era, that custom car culture,
yep.
Artwork and stuff. And I found a guy on Instagram, and he lives in Brazil, and he literally draws that style.
That's so cool,
and it's amazing. And he's actually won an award in the States for a beer label that he drew. It was actually in Hop Culture magazine.
Nice. Oh wow!
And it was after. And I didn't even know this was after the fact. After you already drew that. But we fell in love with it, and we try to use it as much as we can. It's not really even intended to go on a glass. We have it on a glass. We have it on a shirt. We have it on a can. But like I said, I love the elements in it, and then we've been pulling the elements out, like the crazy guy face and the actual beer mug and
the little demon on the
and
back.
the demon we pulled out and
Nice.
kind of using in different things. So
this logo really brought back memories because it's so like early 70s. Love that magazine. The other thing that magazine had, which was really cool, is it give you like the outline of a car, the way the headlights looked and the way the taillights look, and you had to guess what the make, year, and model was of that car. And the next issue, you'd find out.
Find out what it was.
We never got it right. Never got it right.
Well, it's not like you were 17 years old.
I was 6 years old at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like
Of course.
that.
But cool. All right. We're a bit in, but I'm going to ask you usually the first question we ask everybody. I'll ask you, to the best of your recollection, what was the first craft beer you ever had?
Oh my God. It's believe it or not, it wasn't like really craft.
Craft-ish is fine.
I'm going to give you what changed my perception.
Right.
It's actually not that old. Thing of Beauty from Magnify.
Really?
When I drank that beer, and I think it was they brewed it probably in 2016, maybe. When I drank that beer, I was like, as far as like New England style, right? That's what it was. And I drank that beer, and I'm like, this thing is crazy. I've never tasted anything like it. And before that, obviously, everyone's always had, Boston Lager and Brooklyn a brewery and stuff like that. But when it was completely different. And I fell in love with it. And they only brewed it, I think, once or twice, and that was it. I've never seen it again. So, but that's what kind of stuck in my mind, that beer. And then Chimay. I love Chimay Reserve. So, and that's another one that I can drink every day, all day. That's when I started home brewing. That's the beer I wanted to brew first.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah. And
I like those heavy beers.
My favorite beer that they ever brewed, they discontinued as well. So we're in the same boat.
Yeah, but you know,
Black Wheat.
Black Wheat was a great beer.
It's crazy. We brewed. I think we're on batch 130 since we've opened. It's been just over a year, and of those 130 beers, I think we've brewed 60 different ones.
There you go.
So, and again, some of them we'll never bring back. It's just we brewed it once and we moved on. And people ask all the time. They're like, "Hey, why don't you bring this beer back?" We're like, we just want to try something different. So, and then some we bring back all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, and actually, the next one I'm going to drink is one that has come back. Because I remember I drank it the first time I was at your at the tap room, and I drank it this time as well. Got a crowler. We'll get to it when I finish this one. When I finish the first crowler.
You got 2 crowlers and a bottle to drink. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I am so happy you're canning.
Yeah,
My bladder is very happy you're canning.
We we knew we had to go that route.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of, it's just, the 32-ounce growler is great for something that, you don't have in a can. But the format, the 16-ounce format, and now 12-ounce again, right? 12 ounces are coming back on all the lagers.
Right.
And Pilsners, we're seeing a lot of that. It's a lot more appealing for the customer.
Yep.
32-ounce can.
It's great when you're sharing, but the person I usually share with, she's not drinking today.
Yeah, and the thing, listen, we've done well with that for quite a while, and we'll still do it. But the 16-ounce cans, especially our popular beers, we're going to start putting in 16-ounce cans, and we're going to sell them in house and at the Ridgewood Farmers Market. But that's it. You're not going to find it anywhere else.
Really?
Yep. We don't have we're small 3.5 barrel system, right? We don't have the throughput to kind of, start sending stuff out to retail establishments. So we have kegs at bars, but the cans in liquor stores are going to be tough.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing a 3.5 barrel batch or something. You double batch anything? You're doing everything?
Yeah, we've been double batching for the last 3 months now.
You got 7 barrel fermenters?
Yeah, so we have 5 3.5s and a bright, which is our lagered tank pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then we have 2 7s, and we just ordered a 7 barrel bright, and then we're going to be ordering another 7 barrel fermenter. Gotcha. So we're double batching. Any of our popular beers we're double batching, or anything that's going into 16-ounce cans pretty much.
Gotcha.
Every so often we'll throw some stuff in a can that's a 3.5 batch, but that's if we're doing back-to-back brews, right? So we're brewing the same beer twice, putting one in one 3.5 and one in another, maybe a week apart. Mm-hmm. So the first run we might just put in cans, and then the second run would be for the bar. But usually we're kind of backfilling a beer that's already on the bar. If it's something new that we haven't had, then we're most likely going to do a 7.
Right.
So
makes sense. Makes total sense.
I mean, listen, we're definitely. I like it because yes, it's a lot more work, but we move the product quickly, and we can change things.
Change things up. You're not sitting on beer for a long time.
Yeah, and that was the thing. So I'd rather work harder. I mean, Twin Elephant has that kind of the same mindset, right? They're just, they're even crazier. They'll quad batch. They'll brew 4 times in 2 days, or and they'll just keep going and it works for them too. So, I mean, just a lot of hours.
No, yeah, that's for sure. Let's dial it back a second. What first got you into brewing?
So I'm sure that a lot of people had the same story. So, I've been, well, not this part, but the part about getting the homebrew kit, right? Asking for a homebrew kit, and your wife gets you a homebrew kit for your Christmas.
Was it a Mr. Beer?
No.
we get a lot of Mr. Beers.
My partner Ron, that's what he started on. Uncle Ronnie, he started on a Mr. Beer, but I just started in some Carboys.
Such a nice guy.
Yep, sweetheart. But I started in some Carboys. But prior to that, I grew up making wine, so always making alcohol, any type of wine. Essential oils. Essential oils. Yeah. Actually, this scar right here is a wine lug that fell on my head.
Oh, geez.
In first grade.
First grade.
Sixth.
Yeah.
Right, wait.
No, Dad was helping Dad.
Yep.
In first grade, or while you were in?
While I was in first grade.
What school did you go to? In Italy.
You know what? You never know. Maybe my parents did pack my lunch in a wine lug.
In a wine lug, right? Yeah.
So So I mean, we've always we're doing something. never brewed beer, but it was a lot of wine growing up. And I got to the point where, I was like, I want to try something different. Asked my wife, hey, I want to get a brewing kit for my for Christmas. She got it for me. I think I brewed once with that kit, and then that was it. And then all of a sudden I built my own electric system, and that was it.
One turn on a homebrew kit.
One turn.
You were hooked. You were done.
I was hooked.
I mean,
I was hooked. That was the first. That was the first and last extract beer I ever made.
Nice.
And then from there on, I built my own little setup in my garage. It's still there, obviously, but I'm sure everyone has that same story where it just sits there and now it just accumulates dust. So,
Sure.
but yeah, everything's there. But and I was brewing two to three times a month. I was brewing, and then during COVID, obviously, it ramped up drastically.
You think? Yeah, right.
And again, it ramped up just because I had time. There was no way I could drink all this. But I already had the name at that point, which was Gearblock Brewing, and had the Instagram account just as a home brewer, and we were just giving the beer away, and people were actually rolling up to the house picking up beer during COVID, and that's how we kind of started a little following.
Nice.
So that's
pretty awesome story.
It's kind of like the drug dealers handing out samples.
Yeah. I mean,
try this. It's on me. There you go.
Yeah. So and it's cool because a lot of these guys I've met now that we're open, and they're like, hey, I bought beer from you, and a lot of them were great supporters. A lot of them showed up to the planning board meeting.
Well, wait a second. They didn't buy beer from you because
they didn't. They got it for free. So they didn't
buy it for free.
Acquired beer.
Acquired. We'll never sell it. Never sell it. You can't. Right. But yeah, no, they were great supporters. Like I said, there was a couple guys that actually ended up on my planning board meeting for the town of Waldwick.
That's great.
And they were drinking on camera at the planning board meeting. And this was during COVID. So the attorney for the planning board was like, hey, listen, you can't drink in here. This is the planning board meeting. And they're like, I'm at home. This is not a meeting. Like, he was like, you got to put it down. So, and then he does that. And then the next guy whips out the glass that says Gearblock on it. And I'm now mind you, I'm the only one that one. And I'm the only one on this planning board meeting that they're hearing. Right. And
they're all drinking your product.
And I was completely, my face was red. I'm like, this is never going to happen. They're not going to let this go through. I was like, look, this is what they're going to have to deal with. But they got a kick out of it. So it worked out.
That's great. That's great.
There's screenshots of me with that red face somewhere. Because there's a lot of.
That's great. That's great. Love it. So when did you? All right. So you made the decision. When did you, from deciding, hey, I'm doing this, to opening the doors? How long was?
Yeah. So I mean, I think right when I started brewing in, I would say 7 years ago, and I think it always was a thought. Right. Everyone always has that thought. Hey, I'm doing this, and I love it, and I want to open up a brewery one day. And so I guess right out of the gate, I wanted to open up a brewery, right? But obviously it was like, it could never happen, right? So I just kept brewing, joined a couple homebrew competitions, and some homebrew clubs, and just had a great time with it. And right around 2019 is kind of where I was like, you know what? I think we should start moving forward and pull the trigger on this. We start looking at properties in 19. And then the next year, right, was COVID, 2020 or 20. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2020.
Yeah. And then 2020 hit, and I was like, you know what? I don't think this is a good idea.
Right now, anyway.
Well, I tell you the truth. It was at that point I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this thing, like, what's going to happen to all the breweries that are already out there right now. Mm-hmm. There's no one's out there. Nobody's going to a tap room. The tap rooms are closed, and then they started delivering. And then I saw that, we saw that all the home deliveries were out of control, and I was getting beer delivered nonstop during COVID. Mm-hmm. And then about, I would say 6 months into COVID, we started saying, you know what, let's start working on this. and the one thing that was nice was there were some at that moment there were some properties, there were some actually there was some some land, some leased areas that were became available. Now I kind of did things backwards. I had the zoning. I had Waldwick and we had the zoning board kind of review what we wanted to do in Waldwick. I reached out to a bunch of towns in Bergen County and said, like, listen, this is what we want to do. We want to start a brewery. Are you even interested? If they were like, hey, yeah, we'll entertain it, then I kind of move forward with just kind of saying, hey, what should I do next? How about this? How about this? But there was a lot of towns that were just like, absolutely not. Waldwick was great. They were like, they invited me to the borough. We had a meeting. They were like, hey, listen, we love this idea. You know what? We're having council meetings all the time, and we're still doing them during COVID. Let me just bring it up during the council and see if they're willing to change like the zoning laws. So I'm like, okay. So he's like, we'll let you know. And this was the town administrator and the town attorney.
Yeah.
And this was before COVID. I'm sorry. Yeah, this was before COVID in 2019. So in 2019, they approved that the specific zones could have breweries. So that was done. I was like, okay, well, now I have a town. The problem is Waldwick is only like 1 square mile. And there's no industrial properties. It's all retail for the most part.
Yeah,
So now it's like, okay, this is great, but I can't find anything in this town. So then we started doing some research, and obviously COVID hit, and then some properties were opening up because of some businesses that didn't continue during COVID, and that's kind of what opened up some of the it opened up our process all over again, right? We kind of started from where we left off, and it worked out. Obviously we went through probably 10 different properties, and I'm sure everyone has the same
in Waldwick.
Story. Yeah, in Waldwick. It's just
in 1 square mile.
We went through a few, but different towns, not in like one town.
Yeah. No, I mean we kind of, there were some warehouses in Waldwick, but again, it was a lot of the times it was the same property over and over again. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was like it came up, then it went away, and then it came back, and but a lot of times, the issue is just trying to explain to the landlord, even the town, that we're not like manufacturing something that's harmful. Like
right.
You tell me you're going to manufacture beer, it's like I feel like it's like Breaking Bad. Like
some people, there are some people out there that look at you like that.
Absolutely. What are you going to do here? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to make beer. So the town was great about it, but a lot of landlords weren't. And then we found, the strip mall we're in, they're actually in some type of chemical industry, the owners. So they kind of understand what we do, and they kind of use some of the same glycol chillers, and they use boil tanks to boil specific chemicals and stuff like that. So they kind of knew what we needed to do, and they were great about it.
Yes, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love hearing stuff like that. I love hearing when everything's coming like coalescing and everybody's working together. That's a really good story.
And that was the thing,
because there's so many stories about like, oh, it was an uphill battle. The town didn't want us. We had to fight. But see, you don't want to hear that.
And the thing is, at that point for me, it was like, why am I going to force someone to want me? Like I want this to be a mutual relationship. Sure. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, if they don't want us, and this is something that they're not even interested in, even with the landlord, I'm not going to go and start battling, right? And going to these zoning board meetings.
It's just going to be a battle forever.
And everyone's going to complain. Oh my God, the smell. And like, it's like, it's not even worth it. We'll find a different place.
Right. Yeah. Well, I love when people say like I know there's a specific town down this way that I've heard, I don't know this firsthand, but I've heard from several people, different people over the years, that a couple people have tried to go into this town. We didn't. A couple people tried to go into this town with a brewery, and a lot of the people said, no, we hate it when we're near a brewery and all we can smell is hops.
We hate
hops.
Yeah, that's why I say, really?
Yeah.
Because you drive by a brewery and all you can smell is hops.
It's
really okay.
Every time I've gone, it's more than
what you're talking about. So yeah. Yeah.
all the time. The hops, they do it.
so
Don't worry about the the porta potty place that's right across the street. Don't worry about that.
No, but hops.
Hops.
Yeah, but it's how. What are they? How are they smelling the hops? The hops are in the cold box. Just smell malt brewing, boiling.
Do we have any odor in our brewery?
None.
And we
None
brew
whatsoever.
we brew on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays.
And
Tuesday,
I've been back in the brewery, and you don't smell it.
No, I mean it's if you clean, you're not gonna have a problem.
Right. Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
So, John, what's your second beer there?
My second beer is the state of New Jersey, and it's Velvet Hand from it's an ESB from King.
Nice.
There you go.
An ESB.
An
So
ESB.
you two British styles in a row.
Two
Look
British
at that.
styles in a row. Look at that. I stayed English in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, I'm staying
British in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm staying Gearblock, and I'm staying German.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm staying German, and with that hint and that, can you tell me what that beer is, Tony? Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Pilsner.
That's a Pilsner.
It's the Italian Pilsner. Oh, I should not bring up the Italian Pilsner.
No,
Carrie wanted the Italian Pilsner. She forgot to order it first, and it kicked while she was drinking her first.
Mm-hmm.
So she was making fun of your beer tender the whole time. Kept ordering it.
That is probably my favorite style of beer right there.
This is a Schwartz beer,
Schwartz
lambed, 5%. And this, this is what a Schwartz beer should be, because it tastes like someone took a piece of wheat bread and burnt it and then made beer out of it.
Yeah, it definitely has a lot of like roastiness and smoke.
But to me, that's what it should taste like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, but it is, and everyone that looks at it, obviously a lot of people are like, oh my,
It's so heavy.
Oh, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. Like the barley's just roasted. It's not like it's just the process of roasting the actual.
Exactly.
It's not like we're putting anything in it.
Right. Take a sip of this and tell me how heavy you think this actually is. Right.
Just close your eyes.
Right.
I think it's hilarious when people are like, "Oh, we forgot to do something, John." It just reminded me. Speaking of heavy dark beers.
Oh, we did. We'll do it. We'll do it afterwards.
We'll do it at the end.
Yeah.
But I love it when people are like, "Oh, I can't drink Guinness. It's too heavy."
Yeah.
Guinness has got the consistency of water. It's 4.1 or 4.2, and it's got the consistency of water, basically.
Yeah.
A nice creamy water, but it's still heavy.
Yeah, the nitro probably gives you a little bit of a filling effect, right? But
it's
not heavy.
That's heavy. It's almost the opposite of heavy.
Exactly.
That 10% you have is heavy.
Yeah, like I'm trying to. I'm going to work through this and get to that sucker over there.
I don't know.
I'm letting her warm up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta let it stout.
It's bottle conditioned too. So.
I was gonna say, please tell me you're talking about the beer.
The beer. Oh,
I'm letting my liver warm up a little bit. That's what's going on. The first two, they're lower alcohol. Let's get the liver primed before we get the 10% stout. Oof, I'll save some for the. No, she's not. Yeah, we'll see. I can cap that one though.
There you go. That's true. You could do that.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. So, you're in this with your partner is Uncle Ronnie, right?
Uncle Ronnie. It's my wife's uncle, Uncle Ronnie.
All right. And
he's we're yin and yang. He helps me with. He is the voice of reason, right? So anytime anytime I want to go, I run it by Ronnie and I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? He's like, oh, let's So
there's more truth in that than people know, because if you go to the brewery, you're going to see Tony bouncing off the walls, running everywhere. You're going to see Ronnie at the end of the bar.
Yep.
And he's going to be silent, and whoever's next to him, he's going to be talking to him.
Yes.
And
like that's he has that. Nothing bothers him.
Yeah.
Everything's cool, collected, and that's what I need, because I am all over the place, right? So I need someone to kind of.
He's chill as fuck.
Yeah. He is. He is extremely chill. There is nothing phases him. I mean, I've known him I've been with my wife now a long time. Almost 20 years we've been together, and I've known him for that long, and over 20 years. he's always been the same. I've never seen him yell, never seen him get angry. And that's why I think it's great, because he kind of helps me get back to reality and just relax. I mean, because I'll like you said, I'll be running around constantly.
Yep.
Things have to get done, but sometimes we got to slow down.
Right. No, yeah, definitely. Agreed. What's we've talked about a few beers, obviously. Dave's had a few. You've talked about one or two others. What are some of the flagships, or at least stuff you always bring back, or stuff you always have on, and then some of the other stuff that you've been lately doing? Kind of.
Yeah, so we don't really bring a lot of beers back to back, right? So we will usually
go away, they come back. They
go away, they come back. We try to. I always like to have a rotating tap handle. There are some beers that you see a lot of, right? So Super Citra is our hazy pale ale. Numb Hands, you're going to see quite a bit. You're going to see K-Turn. You're going to see Kolschfather. You're going to see Standard Coupe, which is our porter. Yep. That is always, believe it or not, that's actually always on. But we change the flavoring, right? So sometimes it'll be coconut. Sometimes it'll be vanilla. Sometimes it'll be plain. It all depends.
The coconut is good.
And
Lamb has come back.
Lamb has come back. That's the second one. This one's a little bit roastier than the first.
Yeah.
We tried different things. We might try some debittered hops, hops, barley next time. And see
debittered, smelly ass hops.
Yeah. So, but we definitely there's definitely a theme, and the theme is the beer names for the most part are all like car.
So what does lambed mean in the car part?
Lambed is like crash, hit.
Okay.
Lambed, you got lambed, right?
You got lambed, right?
So we try to sometimes use names from or words that are from that country that the beer is from and correlated, right? So yeah, so we try to do stuff like that. We try to like Alpha, right? Alpha's the Italian Pilsner, Alfa Romeo.
That's right.
Do you
which you ran out of?
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you, do you try to keep, all right, you have different beers on, or at least different versions of them, but do you keep the same, like if you have 3 IPAs or pale ales, you have 3 IPAs. You have the porter, you have so you have same kind of styles with some other rotating things.
Correct. We try to keep the styles in line, right? So we have, we always have a Pilsner or a lager, right? If we don't have a lager, we're going to have a Kolsch and maybe a blonde ale.
Okay.
Or a cream ale, right? So we're gonna have some beers that are a little bit more crisp. We're always gonna have a porter. We always try to have a stout, and then we have usually 2 to 3 IPAs, and that's pretty much it. We have 12 tap handles. We always have seltzer on, just for the gluten-free individuals.
Oh, sure, no, that's a good thing.
But the waistline watchers.
Yeah, waistline watchers
and Joe Granite, the big hater.
So, but yeah, so really it's 11. Oh, and always a sour. We try to have a sour on all the time.
Where in that lineup did Roach Coach fit?
Roach Coach is a cream ale.
Yeah,
right.
It's a coffee cream ale.
Coffee cream ale. So
delicious.
Yeah. So we.
It's a good name for it. I like that.
Yeah, Roach Coach.
Roach Coach
that's good.
Again, car stuff. Like if you work,
and when you can that, it's going to have that blue and label on it, right? Like the coffee cup, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. It's going to look, but someone already does that though. I think so. We got to be careful with that.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Well, you don't have to do that. You can just add those colors with your own spin.
Actually, all you got to do is add some of the what is that? What do they call it? Diamond plate metal.
Yeah,
it looks like diamond plate metal. Everyone will get it. Everyone will get that.
I'm trying to think who does that. That same.
Now that you said that, now I'm thinking that maybe somebody is.
Yeah,
but it's not a coffee. It's not a cream ale. But it's definitely
not cream ale. It's a coffee.
It's definitely a dark beer that has coffee in it, and it looks like the cup. And it's a Jersey brewery.
That Greek thing.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who the hell is that then?
Maybe it's Bricks. It might be Bricks.
Maybe it is.
But yeah, so we, hang on,
I'll call Joe.
I mean, a couple breweries do a coffee, light coffee beer, right? Because everyone gets confused. They're like coffee cream ale. they forget about cream ale and they see coffee, and they're like, and then
when it comes out
I
light,
pour it, and they look at it and they're like,
What the hell's this?
and I mean, it's extremely light.
Right.
It doesn't even have like a tint of coffee,
it's even and it's clear.
and it's clear. It's clear.
And
So
what I enjoy drinking a coffee cream ale that you can drink 2 of them and not stumble when you get up.
Well, we don't put lactose in it, so we don't. It's not a high ABV.
John knows who will make it.
I know what you're talking about.
Do I have to say the word "duh"? I mean,
Yeah,
the OG.
Listen, it's a good beer.
Say his name
right?
3 times.
Don't say his name 3 times. Please don't say his name 3 times.
By the way, we got a cheers from Gene Lynch.
Cheers,
Sweet,
Gene.
Cheers, Gene.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, so we kept it simple.
And by the way, Gene, you were invited.
There you go.
Yeah, we kept it simple, just regular cream ale and coffee. Nothing complicated with it. We just wanted something to be light and just give it a little bit more flavor, right? Make it a little different. And then we had Alpha on tap. We always, as is our Pilsner. Every time we brew it, we've brewed it a couple times. And the last time we brewed in a 7-barrel batch, and we canned it. And I mean, I think it lasted 2 or 3 weeks for a 7-barrel batch. I mean, with 16-ounce cans and tap room, I mean, it's it does really well. So our Pilsner is pretty popular. Yeah. And then the IPAs.
And I really want to see that get on tap at As Is.
As is, right? Oh, As Is in the city, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Well, we can't. Guess what?
You can't go to New York, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. It's just going to need a distributor.
You got a distributor, yeah. Gene said, "Thanks. It's just special to be invited."
Yes, it is. Isn't it, Gene?
But were you invited to Portland with them this weekend?
No. Thanks, Gene.
There you go.
TFTI, buddy.
There you go. Anyway,
so we actually got another West Coast coming on. Low Riders coming on Thursday, so we have a low.
I'm assuming it's a lower ABV.
No.
It's
7.7. It's just. But listen, if it's West Coast, you need a low rider on the West Coast. So
that's true. That is
true. That's
true.
why it's the.
So it's ironic.
Style. It's ironic. Yes, it's a low rider.
And a great song by War.
This is true.
Yep. But yeah, we have and lately we've been working on collaborations. We did do a couple earlier in our tenure, and then now we kind of started back up. We just did a collab with Autodidact.
Nice.
So we'll probably do something with somebody else in the near future. So, and I think we're gonna brew. We might brew Jersey again. This is probably good timing for that, right?
Yeah, until he signs the damn thing.
He's not going to sign.
He's not going to sign it. He's not signing it.
We knew that a week ago.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
It's over. But he's not signing it. That will go away. This will have to be done again because he wants to. It's his own. It's for his. We're pawns. That's all we are.
Yeah, and it's you know what, I just going into this, opening up a brewery. We kind of knew what we were getting into. Mm-hmm. It's not like we were going to when we opened the brewery, we treated those 2019 rules as kind of the law for us.
Let me stop you for 1 second. So, because we do have a lot of listeners that are out of state that don't know what we're talking about.
Yep.
There are changes to the New Jersey brewery rules, restrictions, regulations that are going on that were been passed by the lawmakers,
unanimously passed by the legislature and the assembly and the Senate in New Jersey. So everybody, all the way up to the governor, says yes, let's do this.
It's on his desk, and he's not.
Let's
been on his desk for
he's not, and the
days,
thing is,
and he hasn't signed it.
He's not vetoing it, but he's also not signing it. And
so,
after 45 days,
it's going to go away.
It dies.
So and let's start with this, right? So even before all this, right, in 2012, we came out with legislature that said this is what a brewery should do, right? Mm-hmm. And in there was a couple things that were just the main things. You must give a tour. Mm-hmm. You can't serve food.
Yep.
Right? Those are the two big ones. Then
Those were the only things that were actually in the law.
Yeah,
That's it.
and then and there was other stuff about how much barrelage and stuff you can do, but that was like the two big things. And then in 2019, they're like, listen, we need to put guardrails on this. So they came out with the state ABC came out with rules, right? These rules are their interpretation of the law.
It was a ruling.
Yes.
It's not a law, it's a rule.
It's a rule. So what we're trying to say is we want the rules to go bye-bye, and we want them to the bills were to redraft the law.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're trying to do, right? So these rules, right now, they're saying, hey, we're not gonna enforce these rules this year. So that's the kind of where we're at right now with the state ABC. They said, hey, since we're going through all these, since we're going through all the bills and the whole liquor reform thing, let's just not enforce it this year. But there are a couple things that we're kind of going back and forth with the state ABC as far as clarification on certain items, but that they're not going to enforce. But yeah, so that's the thing. It's, again, it's that's and I'm afraid that when this bill does pass or whatever happens in this liquor reform, is the state ABC going to go and put guardrails on that?
Of course they are.
I don't know.
Of course they are.
They did it already.
I was upset to see though that your book was missing when I was there last.
Oh, it was there.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's always
the great thing about the book in Gearblock, because one of those rules were that you had to actually sign that you'd been there, because if a year had gone by, you had to take the tour again. You had the year permission, and it's amazing. And I don't know if it's only happened at Gearblock, but I think you told me that Jimmy Hoffa took the tour how many times?
A couple times. Mickey Mouse was there.
Oh, awesome.
Papa Smurf.
Donald Duck. It was
Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf's a big one. He's usually
really. He came back around. He was going.
But the fact that Jimmy Hoffa got out of the parking lot at Giant Stadium and
he
made it up north.
Oh yeah, it's the parking lot now because they tore the original Giant Stadium. Yeah, that's right.
He hit up a Bolero on the way. And then jumped on 17 and went north.
The turnpike, and there you go.
He went to anaphylactic shock because he was lactose intolerant first. But
Lord, so that's kind of what's going on. I'm sure we have great the Brewers Associations in Jersey, both the Guild and the Brewers Association have been doing a great job. So keeping us up to date. And we have some good representatives that are representing us as breweries. So it's good to see that that we're doing something about it. Because I think for a while in New Jersey, the Brewers Associations weren't really, we weren't really asking of anything from them. And then I think COVID kind of messed that all up too, right? We kind of didn't know what was going on, especially when they suspended everything during COVID, and then this past year when all of a sudden everyone's got all these stipulations on their license. So
exactly,
which are still on the license, but they're not going to enforce them.
No,
for now.
For now, yeah.
For now,
it's ridiculous.
6 months. 6 months.
No.
End of the year.
And then we'll see where we go for in January at that point. Yeah. All right. All right. So what's any events coming up that you're either attending or having at the brewery? Or
yeah, I mean, so again, we try not. We have a small facility, so having events by us is kind of a challenge. We do have trivia night. We do have bands occasionally. We do have a Jeep show that's going to be popping in, kind of a little bit of a Jeep club that's going to be doing. They're going to have a Jeep show there in September. Nice. But really, it's we don't go crazy with the events because of all the rules, right? So, the biggest thing we did was our anniversary. It was a whole weekend of partying.
Nice.
But yeah, so they're just follow us on Instagram. You'll see anything that we do is on Gearblock Brewing on Instagram.
Nice.
And even on our website, the feed is there from Instagram. But we are going to be definitely doing more this summer.
Are you getting out to any of the beer fests? I know we were at Brewsology together. I think were you guys at? You guys were at Big Brew in March.
Yes, we were at Big Brew.
We Big Brew together.
We skipped the Jersey City.
Right.
the one that's it was at the Liberty, not Liberty Science Center, but at the park.
At the park, yeah.
It was on Cinco de Mayo. For us, we had we obviously we wanted to do something at the brewery for Cinco de Mayo because we're so small. We don't have obviously the staff to do both. We do it. Yeah. So we're going to be doing the Boot and Beer Fest.
That's a good one.
Yep. Boot and Beer Fest is great. And then we'll be doing the Bergen County. There's a oh my lord, what is it called?
John, keep them talking. I'll be right back.
I wonder where you're going.
I don't know. After nearly 64 ounces of beer.
I think
you're going to get a Klondike bar. I know.
Oh, I'd do anything for a Klondike. One of the things I would do for a Klondike bar.
It's the Bergen Beer. It's Bergen Food and Beer and Wine Festival. So it's at.
Is that the one that? Is it is that Garden State Plaza? Or?
No. So there's two. So that the Garden State Plaza one is usually at on the same day as the Boot and Beer Fest.
This one. Okay.
This one is actually at a country club in northern Bergen County. So it's pretty cool. It's all the local restaurants, bars, any business can showcase their products there. We'll be there. It's in October.
It's in October.
I believe. Yeah. So, but yeah, so we do have a couple things. We didn't go to Atlantic City Beer Fest this year, but hopefully when we will be there soon.
You get there, it is good. We have a great time at it every year. It's
a commitment.
It's a commitment. Oh, it's a commitment. That's for sure.
That's what's hard with us, especially with young kids.
You have twofold, right? Threefold. But the commitment down there, the commitment to the brewery itself, and then the family. So
yeah, it's tough.
It's
so
tough. Absolutely.
We really we.
Fortunately for me, I can actually bring my kids to help pour the beer.
Yeah, exactly.
They're old enough,
Yeah, we pride ourselves on a family establishment for the most part. We really only have 2 servers that are not family, and they've been there since day one. We really haven't hired anyone since. We do have Mark, my brewer, and so it's Mark. We have Madison and Tripp, or the 2 servers that are not in the family, and then we have my wife. Which is Lindsay. Allie is Ronnie's daughter, and her husband is Brian. So that's pretty much it. And then me and Ronnie, and we kind of run the show, try to keep it in the family. I mean, and it's tough working with family, right? But you gotta tell them what it is. If there's something wrong, you gotta tell them, and they take it. So when they make change.
And speaking of family, so. One of the difficulties we had getting Tony on the show was it was Tuesdays. And Tuesdays is soccer practice, right?
Soccer.
Yeah.
So he's a soccer dad. I was a soccer dad. Your son's team made how far?
So both my kids play in travel soccer programs. Yep. They actually play on 2 different leagues each. So one of them plays in Northern County Conference, and then the other team or the other division they play is EDP. So last year it was just one of them. The 7-year-old played in 2 different teams, and then the older one played on 1. This year it's going to be 2 for each. So we're going to have. So it's going to be.
I'm glad we got you on now.
So it'll be every evening. And listen, we love it. It keeps them active.
Oh yeah. No,
So
I loved it.
My kids played soccer. They played. My son played football and baseball. My daughters played soccer. They played softball until they decided that they they were going to cheer. But they still played softball all the way to high school.
But that's it's crazy. So there's certain sports and certain activities like cheer or cheer. You have baseball, softball, soccer. It's all year round.
Oh yeah.
So right now, we're not, so it's funny. I thought I wasn't going to have anything over the summer. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we got another league. It's only 4 weeks. It's
a 4-week league. Yeah. Anyway.
In the summer, we were there on Sunday morning. Sunday morning, we were there for a game at 10 o'clock. No, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. I think it was like 1,000 degrees on the turf.
There were 2 years in a row. I coached them all. In baseball and softball, but there were 2 years in a row that I was the head coach for all 3 of them.
Ugh.
So I had all 3 bags in my truck.
Yep.
And I went from practice to practice to practice to work to practice to practice to work to practice to work to practice to practice. It was just I slept a little bit in there, but yeah.
So right now they have their bags. We have chairs and kegs.
That works.
Yeah. All the empties got to go somewhere.
But I'd heard that one of your son's teams made it to the finals of something.
Yeah. So the Logan, my 7-year-old, they play his EDP league plays in the Hershey tournament. So they got second place in their age bracket. So U9.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, they got second place. So yeah, he wasn't there. So, but we had a medical issue, so they wouldn't clear him. So they wouldn't clear him to play, but the team did well either way.
Huh. So. That's interesting because my son plays in Florida. He still plays. He's 19, still plays. He's a goalie. So you can understand how crazy he is because goalies are a special breed, just like bass players, like we talked about. But he's had many medical instances, but playing in Florida, I don't think they take those into consideration much. Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of a weird thing. It ended up being nothing, but something was elevated.
So
he's fine. He's fine. Yeah. So something was elevated in his blood work. The doctor wouldn't clear him until he got more additional blood work. So
this has been the medical portion of the Locker Room Guys podcast.
Yes, my wife is a nurse too, so that's why a lot of it.
Doctor cleared. I don't think that exists in Florida.
What do you have? What's on the horizon in the next year right now that you know of you're going to do as far as the brewery goes?
Yeah, so we're going to definitely. So we started off the spring season with the additional patio in the rear. So we have 2 patios, one in the front that's under an overhang, one in the rear that's under like sunshades, and so that adds a lot of capacity for us.
Nice.
Going forward, what happened?
I just because I poured the stout, it almost overflowed. I took a little sip of it to take it on. The was like, that's freaking tasty.
Yeah.
You continue, then we'll talk about it.
So in the future, we're adding additional fermenters, bright tanks, 7-barrel fermenters, just so we can start doing a lot more double batch.
You don't have a lot of room back there, so you're adding all this, and people are supposed to walk through it out the back.
That's the tour. That's the tour.
That's perfect. I like that.
Yeah. So the tour is
as you walk through, look to the left and right. You'll see stuff.
Yeah.
And we make beer in that stuff.
So we have a small canning line, and that's why we went with a smaller canning line too, so we can fit in between the fermenters.
Where are you shoehorning this stuff?
It's we got room. We got room. In that room.
We can do it. We can do it.
This.
Nice.
Remember when you put ice cream in your soda?
Yep, it's a.
There you go.
That's what that head looks like.
So it's we do have a little bit more room. We could definitely fit with. You gotta have to remember now. We got cans sitting inside. So when you walk in our production area, there's literally cans stacked on top of each other.
But you are building a shed.
Correct. A shed for the cans.
You've built part 1 of the shed. You still need part 2.
Correct.
Have they sent that yet?
No, it's coming. I know. I was so upset. Oh my god.
He was telling me the story when I was up there where they're starting to put the shed together and like we're missing parts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm like,
two-phase shed.
I only have box 1. Where's box 2? They never delivered it.
Didn't deliver it.
So they're sending the whole thing. But where our cans are right now is pretty much where the future 7-barrel fermenters are going to go. So,
nice. There you go.
Okay.
So
Dave,
cans will outside, the fermenters will go there.
I put the crawl up there for your beer there. So
nice.
My beer, it's his beer. Hold on.
Well, the beer you're drinking.
First gear. Yeah, and every beer, like, so our imperial stouts that are aged in bourbon barrels, we try not to go over the top with adjuncts as far as like lactose. We put a little bit in there. We try not to really make it a pastry stout. That's not what our intent was. I mean, I love pastry stouts and we will make them, but that's not what this is.
Right.
This is an actual imperial stout that's literally aged in a bourbon barrel, and then we add a little bit of cocoa nibs and vanilla bean.
Right.
So simple, nothing. Cholaka, actually, which is really nice.
This is you can taste
The bourbon.
every percentage of that ABV. But that's probably the bourbon messing with you, right?
Yeah.
And also the fact that they're putting ice cream into soda. I'm almost getting like a cola flavor. That's probably just a mind fuck from the from what was going on with that.
Yeah.
But-
So the first bourbon barrel aged style we did was when we did in December, and then we did this one, which is our first year anniversary one, and then next year it'll be second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, and so on and so forth. So
You're okay. So you're going to get up into the semi levels eventually.
yeah, correct. 18. Yeah.
So you want to eventually
23rd.
you want to get to 48th gear, right?
Yeah, 48th gear, exactly.
So-
But yeah, so the first beer that we will brew yearly, which is the bourbon barrel aged one that we released in December, is called Soaked Stave, and we'll keep doing that yearly in December.
And what is that going to be? How's that?
It's going to be a bourbon barrel aged stout. We just don't know the barrel yet. We haven't picked it out, but we're actually going to be brewing that within the next couple of days because we got to get that into a barrel and get it ready.
This is it's a pretty thick mouthfeel.
You know what?
Yeah, so Cholaka does that. Cholaka is that cocoa nib liquid.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. It's really good. You flow it right into the fermenter. You don't have to let it kind of sit on the cocoa nibs. So
When I brush my teeth later, I'm gonna have to brush my tongue.
There you go. I'm actually jealous.
This is coding. This is wow.
you just have to be
This is-
careful pouring it because there is a lot of there are bottle conditions. So you got to leave that last little bit right at the bottom.
No.
Yeah, drink it all.
It'll
No
depend-
stuff.
The leaves are full of vitamin B. It'll help stave off your hangover.
We've had people.
After 2 crowlers and this, I'm expecting one.
We've had people drink that hot, like they wouldn't not even chilled. They'll just drink right out of the box at the brewery.
Well, I had this sitting since before the show started.
So
to
an
get this
hour,
warmed up.
hour and a half.
Yeah, so I got this, and it's probably right at the perfect temperature for an imp stout.
Nice.
Right, we're probably looking at about 48 degrees. It's sitting at right now, just about right. And yeah, you can get all of the. Bless you. You guys can probably hear that because this microphone picks up.
Oh,
everything.
it picks up everything.
Yeah, that's why I muted when I went
to the. Yeah, well, we didn't want to hear that. So.
No one.
We've heard that on the show before, but not from many of us.
Not from us. From he who will not be mentioned,
and someone else too, who will probably be making an appearance on the show.
We couldn't hear him.
We didn't. We just saw where he was because he muted his mic when he did it. So
he did.
We
actually had one guest actually take a bottle. It went down here. What we did hear, because he unmuted his mic too soon, we did hear a zipper go back. And then the bottle get put back down on it. Wait a sec.
I call that the trucker bomb.
Yeah, no, he said no. I just poured a beer and then he picked up one. I was like, that's pretty good. It was right there.
He's a wily old fox.
He is.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm jealous that you're drinking that. I went to an IPA after the mild and the that. And I went out of state too. I went down to Virginia. Triple Crossing Brewing, Falcon Smash, to 7% IPA. Yeah.
That's a pretty can.
It is a pretty can. Black lid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty can.
So
painted can.
Painted can and a black painted black and a black lid. I want a new can and I want it painted black.
Yeah, we just went Rolling Stones. This is leaving an interesting film on the glass.
That's why I was like. That's why I said. I'm
not
sure.
What is it? What is it? What did you say it was? What is it?
A Cholaka.
Yeah,
so Cholaka. So we bottle condition.
Never used it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It comes in. The company makes a couple different products, but a lot of guys use it in their stouts that they want to be it'll make it creamier without using the lactose and give you the same chocolate effect.
Nice.
But
creamy is not the word I would.
it's definitely.
I understand creamy, but it's thicker,
thickening. It's just a thickening agent, really, because it's actually very thick. It's thick going into the fermenter, and you actually flow it into the fermenter first, and then you kind of push the beer right into it, and then mix it a little, and
that would probably explain the head that I saw.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, like I said, I find that if you and that I think going forward we're going to try to actually carbonate the beer and then actually bottle it carbonated. We didn't have the equipment to do that, so we kind of were bottle conditioning in the beginning. So the first beer we did, which was the soak stave, we didn't use Chelaka. We just used cocoa nibs, and we didn't have that effect that you see here.
Nice.
Chelaka has definitely given you like a little bit of because it's literally crushed up, liquefied cocoa nibs. So I think that's where you get a lot of that almost like that little
filmy and particle part.
Yeah, filmy is a good word.
Yeah.
It's yummy as hell.
Nice.
I'll tell you that right now. And what I like is that there's a balance between the cocoa flavor, the vanilla flavor.
Nice.
But did the vanilla kind of carry over? Is it kind of this?
It's there.
I hate vanilla, and just because with time it kind of dissipates to the point where it doesn't exist any longer.
Well, this is still young. How long do you think you could sit in one of these?
Listen, we tell everyone to kind of even our soak stave. We tell everyone to, just like this barrel aged. Just drink one fresh and then let the other one age. Age it for a year, age it for 2, and see what happens.
That's exactly what I do. I've done this for years. I haven't so much lately, but I've done this for years. Anytime I'm picking up a bottle from somewhere, I pick up 3.
Yep.
I drink one right away.
1 and 2.
Apparently, he's got deeper pockets than I do.
I drink one right away. I save one for a bottle share whenever that may be. Right away, later, whatever, and then I put one away.
We haven't done one in a while, John.
Which is why I have too many friggin' bottles. We need to have one.
Yeah,
and then I put one away for years, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4,
that's
years.
the problem with the bottles, right? If you buy them, you always want to split them with someone, and then you just got to find the right time, and then you just keep buying them, and you have a whole cupboard full of bottles.
I've already been told that at least I had to make a promise that at least half of the bottles that I have here will get over to the brewery for consumption in the office there. Get the hell out of here. Basically, is what she's saying, right?
Get them out of my. I was saying the cocoa and the vanilla have a really nice balance to them, but this is still at heart a bourbon aged imperial stout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, we didn't want it. No pastriness.
No.
Yeah. So those flavors are there.
0 lactose in it. Right.
That does have a little bit of lactose in it, but not a lot. Not a lot. So I always feel like you have to put a little lactose in anything you put in a barrel. I feel like if you don't, with the aging process, it kind of thins out the beer in the barrel.
Interesting.
So I always say I've done it as a home brewer, and I've done it without it, and I feel like it comes out very thin. I don't know if it's just the residue, whatever's left in the barrel. I don't know if it's absorbing stuff from the staves. I don't know, but I feel like when it comes out, I feel like it's more liquidy than when it went in.
Interesting.
So
it's a little chemical magic going on.
I don't know.
And that's the whole thing.
Me.
We've talked about lactose quite often in this show. It's usually at making fun of Bolero snort a lot when we talk about it. But the thing I've always stated about lactose, John's heard this probably at least 100 times. The way I look at lactose is it's like salt to food, right? If you use too much of it, you have destroyed the food. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You use just the right amount, and it's an enhancer. It's not a main ingredient; it's an enhancer. And the way I look at lactose is if it changes the mouthfeel of the beer, you've used too much.
Yeah. What I find it does is it rounds it out. So
Yeah,
if
and that's what it should do.
if say, you know, I feel like if maybe you feel like it's a touch too astringent or bitter, you know, I think sometimes even putting the lactose in there kind of smooths that out a little.
But clarify, rounds out the flavor or the mouthfeel.
The flavor, not the mouthfeel.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Because I mean, a lot of times we've tried putting, because you can actually put it in post fermentation, and it's so difficult to kind of get that to kind of reabsorb into the liquid,
Right.
Yeah.
because you have to put it in. You can't just throw it in, so you have to mix it in something first. And if you don't have the right ratio, right, you can only put certain it's soluble items in, you know, so like there's a ratio, right? So if you don't have enough liquid to the actual lactose, it's just going to settle to the bottom. So you have to have enough
And
for
do
it
nothing,
to actually
right?
And do nothing,
yeah,
right.
and it'll do nothing. So, but we've tried to post, but you know, obviously we do it kind of the similar way everyone else does it, just in the boil.
there you go. And speaking of, you know, putting, you know, fluids in something to make it, you know, better or run.
Where
per
are
se.
you going with this?
I'm trying to segue a little bit.
Oh yeah, here we go. I know what kind of fluid he's talking about.
You know, and I mean, we are talking about a dark beer too, so it's like oil-esque.
Yes,
Right.
oil.
Oh,
Right,
oil,
and
oil.
Right, you know, you put oil in something, it makes the gears run. You know, gear. You know,
God, old engine
Engines.
oil. That's a good.
Old engine oil is a good beer, actually. You know, it's
good beer.
that is a good beer.
You got to do something along those lines.
You ever have old engine oil, Tony?
Never.
It's
Really?
yeah, you gotta have it.
Oh, next time I'm booting, I'm going to grab you a bottle.
Yeah,
and give it to you.
we'll do that. One of us will get it, and the three of us will have it. Up
Nice.
At the brewery. We'll have to do that. But anyway, I was doing a poor job at a segue.
That was an awful job.
Horrible.
I got it.
Oh no, I got it, but it was just a bad segue.
No, I think
It's not the best seg.
Yeah.
We're actually masters at segues here. We'd probably be better at them if we didn't point them out all the time that we're doing it.
That we're doing a segue. Like while he's doing one, I'll go segue. Right, you know? In any event, yeah. Well, on that note, that brings us to our top three list for tonight. Top three list. Tony, just so you know, we do a top three list. Why? One, we do a top three list because we're paying homage to 1933, the repeal of prohibition. Threes, top three. There you go, 1933. The other reason is because the top 10 list would take way too long because we normally have 4 or 5, maybe 6.
You don't stick to 3
for our top 3 anyway. So so top 3 list tonight is in honor of Tony coming on the show and Gearblock Brewing and obviously everything that they do there and the reason for their name of their brewery and their names of their beers. We're doing top 3 favorite American muscle cars. Top 3 favorite American muscle cars. Tony, kick us off.
So I would say my first is a 1970 Chevelle SS.
You on 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I'll give you the best. Yeah,
so
1970 Chevelle
with the Hirsch shifter.
A Hirsch shifter.
Gotta have the Hirsch shifter.
Gotta have the Hirsch
shifter.
I'd say number 2 would be any of the Tri-Year Bel Airs.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's muscle-ish, right? But I think
it's muscle-ish. It's muscle.
I think people have made them into muscle cars now.
Yes, they're the pre-muscle car era, but but they were the transition.
And then the other thing, again, another vehicle that isn't really a muscle car, but lately that's all I've been seeing is an early 50 Chevy pickup truck. People are doing a bunch of S10 conversion, S10 frames with LS1 conversion, LS1 engines in there, and these things are rocket ships for what they are. And so I mean those are my muscle-ish type cars. I wouldn't say the last 2 were, but I consider that they are because of all the modifications people have made to them.
No, what they're doing with the old school pickups right now is they're making them beasts. They're turning these things into beasts. It's not like they weren't beasts to begin with.
Well, they're making them drivers. You can actually drive them.
Yeah.
Like before, it's like,
I got. I'll tell you this really quick. I had in 1988. I had a Volkswagen Jetta. All right. And
that's not an American muscle car, John.
No.
Oh,
This is not part of the list. I'm telling the story. So I'm pulling out of a lot, right? And I'm looking. Traffic's turning right. Traffic's coming from the left, towards right. Waiting for them to pass. There's a car coming, and I'm waiting for it. As soon as it pulls through, I'm going to go. All of a sudden, boom! I get hit. There was a car coming north, and he tried to cut in front of him. Didn't even see me sitting in a lot, plowed right into the front of my car. All right. I had $3,000 worth of damage to the front of my 1988 Volkswagen Jetta. Okay. It was in 88. I had a 1987 Volkswagen Jetta. Anyway, he was driving a 1952 Chevy pickup. He didn't have a friggin' scratch on the car. Not a scratch. Nothing. He didn't even have to buff anything out. Nothing.
Oh,
the paint was fine.
They knew how to build them back then. Tony and I talked a little bit about the old time trucks when I was there, and the Dodge Power Wagon. My God, that thing. That was one of my favorite things ever put out in pickup form. Was that Power Wagon? But man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Those like 1950 pickup trucks. I mean, they start at anything that would be roadworthy starts in the 20s.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
And then so right now everyone's kind of picking up a lot of the 60s and 70 pickup trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would be the muscle era, right?
Yeah.
But those you can actually get at a reasonable price right now, and they're pretty cool too. But I like the early 50s because it kind of resembles our the logo we have and the artwork we have on our can. Because that is an International Harvester, the pickup truck on there, but those are even harder to find, and they're pretty beat up because they're farm trucks. So
exactly.
Oh my God, the International Harvester was the Scout.
Yeah,
that was something else.
It was. That was good.
Yeah, especially when they chop off the back of it and turn it into a pickup truck.
Nice.
Right, or chop the whole thing off and turn it into a convertible pickup truck.
Right. So what are yours, Dave?
I gotta put the glasses on.
Okay, hold on. He's got 17 honorable mentions.
No, I've only got 2 honorable mentions. One of them I have to mention because this was a beast. I never saw one. I've never experienced one, so I couldn't put it on my list. And that's the 1970 Plymouth Cuda. This thing had a 426 in it. 425 horsepower. This thing was insane, this vehicle. 0 to 60 in 789 miles per hour top speed. What's interesting is when you look at a lot of the muscle cars and you look at their speedometers, they'd go to 80 or to 100, and they'd exceed that. So no one knew, people who drove them never really knew how high they actually went. But most of these vehicles only went to about 120 miles per hour. But you got to remember, back then, these things were big hunks of steel with wheels on them and engines. So getting them to high speeds was not the easiest thing because of the weight of these vehicles. I mean, today's cars are gossamer compared to the cars from the muscle era.
Right.
They had to have huge power plants.
Yep.
So this thing being able to get up to 189 miles per hour, it is kind of insanity for that day. My other honorable mention is only because my top 3 does not have any Fomoco in it. There's no Ford product in it. My mom loved Ford. I was not a huge Ford fan. My grandfather was good friends with someone who owned a Ford dealership, so he got her Ford. Because we all know what Ford stands for, right? Well, it's 2 things it stands for: fix or repair daily, and found on road dead, right?
No. First on race day.
There's a lot.
Depends on what side you fall on, right? But I grew up in Ford, by the way. I grew up in a Mach. My mom, one of the first cars I remember my mom had was a Mach. So, but still, so I had to throw one on. And one of my favorites was the 1967 Mercury Cougar. Was it a beast on the road? No. It was cool. It had sleek looking. What I loved the most about it was the directionals. Did that.
Please say that word again, because you left off the D when you said directionals. All right.
I said directionals?
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I said directionals. Nice try. But now getting to my 3. Number 3, the 1969 AMC AMX 390. AMC that's a nameplate that so many people have forgotten.
American Motor Corp.
Yep. They had the Javelin. They had 2 very unfortunate cars. They had the Pacer, and they had the Gremlin. Mm-hmm. They did do a badass version of that damn Gremlin, though, at one point.
2 very unfortunate cars that I spent a ton of time in the 70s and 80s, the Pacer and the Gremlin, right?
And the Pacer was made famous by, crap. Party On, Garth, Party On, Wayne, right? They had that.
Oh, that was the Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World. They had the baby blue with the flames on it. That was that car. But the Javelin and the AMX. Most Americans will know the AMX from the Road Warrior. They'll know Mel Gibson's movies. That's what he's driving in that thing. He's driving an AMC AMX. AMC came out of Arizona. And that car was a beast. Mm-hmm. That car was a beast. What are the freaking stats on this thing? 340 horsepower, 120 miles per hour top, because that's what most of them did those days.
Right.
Number 2, and this car was just one of the. It was a very popular car because they marketed this thing so damn well. It was the 1969 GTO, the Judge. And the Judge was named after
Aaron Judge.
No, Aaron Judge. No, actually, a skit on.
He wasn't born for another 20-something years after that.
Yeah, he's little embryonic at that point. Actually, pre-embryonic.
Big, yeah. Never mind. Keep saying it.
Not even a twinkle in his parents' eyes yet.
No.
But Rowan and Martin's Laughing. Sammy Davis Jr. was on. They did the skit. Here Comes the Judge, and they named it after that. And
Here Comes the Judge.
And they actually had one that did the horror and that kind of did that. But this thing, and it came in this kind of like reddish orange thing. And yeah, in 1970, I think they made them black, which made them even more badass looking. Sure. But the original that was the one, because it came in with a 400 CI engine. And that thing could work. But when you get down to when I was a kid, what I loved, what I wanted to have, what I wanted to drive, was it the baddest ass one out there? Probably. No, definitely not. But the 1968 Camaro SS.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the 1985 Yugo. I'm sorry.
The Yugo was the most appropriately named vehicle ever made. Because, hey, do you want to go for a drive? No. You go. I'll stay here and live.
Oh man!
But the 68 Camaro SS. This is the same vehicle from Better Off Dead.
Yep.
It was one of the sexiest cars on the road. You put that in that dark red color.
Yep.
And I want it.
Was Uncle Ronnie there when you came in? Did he come in when you were still there?
Yeah, he was there.
Did you ask him? Was it the 68?
No, I didn't, but you told me that was also his favorite.
Yeah, his favorite is the 68.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, they had a hideaway. So. There's one thing that is common amongst all 3 of my top 3. They all had hideaway headlights. Oh no, the AMX didn't.
The AMX didn't.
It did not. But the Judge and the 68 Camaro SS both had the hideaway headlights. I love that sleek look.
Vacuum headlights. Oh.
My aunt had it. My one aunt had a Fiat. Now my mother was the oldest of 6, so this aunt was the youngest. Her youngest sister. She was only like 9 years older than me, or is only 9 years older than me. Right? She had one point. She had a Fiat that at one point both of her headlights. Her left headlight got stuck up. Hideaway headlights, they folded down, right? Her left headlight got stuck up, and both headlights were stuck up. I should say that, right? When she started the car and she put the headlights on, the right headlight went down and up and down. It was like winking as she was driving. It was great. It's the best thing ever. Loved it. All right.
So I'm done, John. You're
all right. I'm going to give you one honorable mention and threes, then three. I have a rhyme or reason to this. My honorable mention is going to be, and I'm extending muscle cars, like you said. Muscle cars are 60s, 70s, right? I'm extending it a little bit. I'm moving it out both ways a little bit, and you'll see where I'm going. But there's a rhyme or reason for this. My honorable mention is going to be any of the early to mid 1980s Buick Regals.
beautiful vehicles. Beautiful.
Regals or Grand Nationals?
Regals, specifically Regals. Grand Nationals were great too, but specifically Regals I put because I had 4 or 5 friends in high school that had Regals, and I just loved their cars. Like to the point where, like, we're at somebody's house, I got to go pick something up. I'm like, all right, you go. My car's there. I'm like, give me your keys. I'm gonna take your car. Why? Give me your freaking keys. I'm taking your car. You want to drive it, right?
So I was a valet. I was a valet parker, and I've driven all at nightclubs, and I've driven all kinds of vehicles.
I know one's right over here. I know.
Yeah, one's right near you. And I got into a Grand National once, and the guy who owned it, I said, "Are these as badass as they say they are?" He goes, "Get on the thing."
Get on it, yeah.
So I got on it, and the thing about the Grand National is the whole roar and power behind it is the turbo.
Oh yeah.
So you hit it, it's like, oh, that's nothing, and then all of a sudden you get thrown back. It's a delay. I almost lost control of the damn car. Almost wiped out a whole line of cars on the parking lot.
Crazy.
Oh God, that thing, that the power.
But, I did like the Grand Nationals, but I put the Buick Regals in there because I never had one. I drove a bunch of them because my friends, a bunch of friends of mine had them. So, but they were fantastic, beautiful cars, loved them. So that was my honorable mention. My number 3, I'm going 3, 2, 1. My number 3, my cousin had one, and I always wanted it. And if I ever do, I someday I will buy one and restore it. If I'd love to get one that I can restore. I don't want to spend $40,000, $30,000 on somebody else's restoration. I want to spend 10 and restore it myself, or less and restore it myself. Right?
Okay.
1971 Oldsmobile 442.
Yeah.
That car, if you look, what you have to do is you look at the front of it. It's a beautiful car. You look at the corner, the front of the side of it. It's a beautiful car too. You walk around the back and you look down and you see balls hanging from the back of the car. So great car. 1971 Oldsmobile 442. All right. My number 2 is for a reason. My number 2 is because my father always wanted this car. And one day I will buy him this car. In 1958, I extended it back to 58. It was the first year of this particular style, the 1958 Chevy Impala.
Oh, the Impalas.
The Impala. But that new style in 58 that came out, he always wanted with the wing, right? With the wing in the back, right? He always wanted a convertible, cherry red with a white leather interior with the wing on the back. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. So I will find that. I will buy it for him.
Wait a second. He's the Italian. He's not the Italian side of your family, is he?
No. He's the German side of my family. But he always wanted that car. Always wanted that car.
I had a 57 Bel Air.
Did you?
Not 57. I'm sorry. I had a 58 Bel Air. I had one, but that's not the one I wanted. I wanted a Tri-Air, but I had the 58, which is the same as the Impala, the dual headlights.
Yep.
But it was a post car 4-door.
Yep.
With a blue flame straight 6. It was a piece of garbage.
Was it?
Everything was rotted out of it. Had it for a couple years, sold it to a guy that was kind of making one car out of 2. So
there you go. That works. But all right, and my number 1 car, and it's my number 1 because I had it.
Oh.
All right. 1987 Firebird Formula.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say an IROC.
No. I wasn't.
No.
He's not that Italian.
I'm not that Italian. I'm Italian, not that Italian. I'm only half Italian. So,
the IROC.
The IROC, not into the Firebird. No. There were friends of.
They were everywhere.
There were plenty of friends of mine that had IROC.
I think it was just a Jersey IROC.
It was definitely a Jersey IROC.
And the thing is,
if you
Bon Jovi, North Jersey Guidos. It's
if you owned an IROC, you had to have the Playboy air freshener hanging from the rear.
I thought you were going to say you have to have a Ferrari sticker.
It came with it. Oh, you put the Ferrari sticker on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. The Playboy scented thing came with the car. Yes.
But no, the 1987 Firebird formula had an electric blue, T-tops. I mean, this thing. I stepped on the gas. I would like where I lived. There was 5 blocks down to the bottom of my hill. I stepped on the gas. I was down the bottom of the hill in 3 seconds. It was like, it just took off. It was great. Loved it. Now there'll be a lot of other, heavy cars on this list, obviously, but we're talking about American muscle cars. So obviously, but
any one of us could have added another 15 to 20 cars to this list. Of course. So none of us mentioned the Shelby Cobra.
No. Like I said, I went with cars that meant something to me. My friends' cars in the 80s, my cousin's car, my father's favorite car, and the car I owned. So that was mine. So
nicely done.
All right. Tony.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to let anybody know before we sign off?
Just come visit us. Gearblock Brewing in Waldwick.
Definitely get up there.
Yep.
It's a fun time. It's that you could definitely let loose up there. It's we're not proper, so
gotta love it. That's great. All right, that's perfect.
Before you do sign off, we've got some business.
We do. I was just gonna say, why don't you give this week's clue to the contest?
So as those who've been watching know, there's the first ever the Locker Room Guys contest, and it's because on August 8th I will land in Ireland. Mm-hmm. So the contest is how many Guinnesses will the Beer Samurai
and we will be live that night too.
And we'll be live that night. How many Guinnesses will I drink on this vacation? So we've given a couple hints already. Clues, parameters, just information you need to know to make an educated guess on this. And remember, you've got till when, John, to put it in?
They have till the Friday before the 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, the 4th, the 11:59 p.m. and 59 seconds on Friday, Friday the 4th of August.
So we're giving one of these hints every show. We will not repeat them. So you need to watch the shows to get these hints. And today's hint is the fact that I will be going to St. James Gate. Mm-hmm. I will be taking the tour. I will be taught how to pour proper Guinness and probably go live when I do so. After that, because this is actually Kerry's birthday, this is happening, we will be doing a pub crawl of Dublin. I've already researched all of the public transportation. And since we skipped a show, I'm going to give you what we would have done during that show, and that is the fact that in many places within Ireland, they start serving at 10:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in some places they're called early pubs or something like that, where they can start serving at 7 in the morning, and you can have your full Irish breakfast with a Guinness.
There you go.
So there's your
Guinness for breakfast. You can have Guinness for breakfast.
And a coffee cream ale.
And a coffee cream ale from Gearblock. Because they're available over there.
All right.
They should be anyway.
Yeah.
So now we've done that, and you're going to go into the outro. I'm broken the seal, so you know I got to run again.
You go run again. Don't go anywhere.
God,
Tony, stay there. I want to talk to you when we're done.
Yep.
Just want to finish this up. We will wrap the show up for today on that note. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Our YouTube channel, all of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tonight was a special Monday night episode because things need to be done tomorrow night. But we appreciate Tony for coming on and making the switch from Tuesday to Monday. Might have been easier for him anyway, so that worked out.
Yep.
There you go. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. Tony, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Amazing show. Guys, get up to Gearblock in Waldwick, New Jersey on Franklin Turnpike. Get up there. You won't be disappointed. Enjoy yourselves when you get up there. Look for Tony. Tell him you watch the show. Have a conversation with Uncle Ronnie. It'll be a great time. Anyway, and enjoy yourselves. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.